Hello Scorpio, welcome to your monthly tarot reading for May 2023. I hope that these messages help you in the month ahead. Allow them to resonate where they fit in your life, and remember, use your intuition to guide you. Allow these messages to guide your own intuition into making your own decisions and choices on the path that you're on. Let's get started. Hello Scorpio. Look, if there ever was a reading for you, this is it. I love these two overall energies for you, Scorpio. Beautiful. You have Yule's Night and you have the Garden of Hallowed Moonlight. Both cards for me are cards of digging deep. And Scorpio, you have this gift of digging deep. And I think that's what May is going to be for you. You have a shift in perspective. You have free time, awareness and awakening. You have the Six of Swords, the Knight of Swords, the Seven of Cups and the Magician. You've got a shift in perception here, and this Knight of Swords and this Seven of Cups, to me, is you're just going to view things differently. You're going to view your options differently. You're going to view your life differently, and that brings about a major shift in your life. A major shift in your life. And I feel that thank you, Spirit. I was going to say that you made yourself, but Spirit's reminding me, no, it's a major arcana. So Spirit has co-created this with you. Spirit has been guiding you to this massive change, and I think it is a massive change. And that's why we have these cards as your overall energy. Scorpio, you have Yule Night, and it's a 9. And I think that's so befitting that it's a 9, because in numerology, a 9 is the completion of something. It's the end of a cycle. It's the culmination. And Yule's Night is the longest night. And there's this sense for you, Scorpio, I'm seeing this as looking within, digging deep inside of you to see, to acknowledge not only all aspects of yourself, but the bonds that you've buried for so long that you didn't even know was there. There's this sense of shining a light on where you haven't wanted to look previously. Now this is inner work, but I feel this spills out because you've got this Seven of Cups here. I feel this spills out into your world. It's looking at everything with a sense of calmness, no judgment, and saying to yourself, I think I'm done with that. And you're not going to be done with everything. But I think what you're going to be done the most with is the judgment of it. So if you're looking at an aspect of yourself and you're thinking, I'm done with this, I'm done. I'm not doing that anymore. The quickest way to not allow that to impact us anymore is to acknowledge that it's there. And when you see it, when you look at it, that's how you acknowledge that it's there. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to like it. You just have to see it honestly and truthfully. And I feel, Scorpio, you're going to be seeing so many things about yourself and about your life that you've probably been judging really harshly. You've been judging unfairly. You've been judging from one perspective. And I feel that all that's shifting. And the interesting thing is that this is your overall energy. So how the overall energy kind of starts and then how it ends up, or how the two energies work together, because the overall energy for the reading. And both energies are really synced, because the garden of hallowed moonlight is looking into the darkness of things and finding beauty in it, acceptance in it. You know, everything about us, it really depends on what perspective you're looking at it, but everything is beneficial. Everything is beneficial. It's how we channel it. It's what we do with it. And I think, Scorpio, there's this sense that you're no longer hiding from it, or you're no longer pushing it aside so you can't see it, you don't acknowledge it. Everything serves us. Everything. This garden, you know, there are plants that only flower in the moonlight. They only flower at night, and I think the majority of them bloom because of the moon, but don't quote me on that. And they're beautiful, and often they're magnificently perfumed. And you kind of think, oh, you know, flowers should blossom in the sun, and it's the sun, the light, that brings them out. But no, this card is a reminder that our shadow side serves us as well. The Spirit's asking me to give you an example. So let's have a look at anger. Now, as we become adults, we learn to curb our anger. We learn to control it. And most of us feel, I should never be angry. I shouldn't get angry. You know, especially if we feel spiritual and we feel that we're, you know, a little bit awakened. We should never feel anger. But imagine if your job was animal welfare, child welfare, or welfare for a minority, or an underprivileged, or a weaker species than us. You don't want to use your anger, you don't want to get angry, but your anger will fuel you to make a change, to be of service. So anger in itself is not the black energy. Where it lets us down is how we tap into it. What do we do with it? Do we get angry and just push everything away and fight everything and become violent and verbally abusive? Or do we channel it to make us move, to make us act? And I feel this is what you're going to be seeing about yourself, Scorpio. It's not an aspect of yourself that needs to be squashed or hidden or feel embarrassed about. It's how are you using that energy? Or thank you, Spirit. Or how are you letting that energy use you? Because when you take anger to fuel you to take action, you're using that energy. But when anger takes over you and you lash out, the energy has got hold of you. A shift in perspective. I see things with clarity and embrace positive change. And that's all it is, isn't it? You haven't eradicated anger. You haven't, and I'm not saying that all of you are going to be angry, Scorpio, not at all. That's just my example. So please run with it and please apply it to your life. You might be at the other spectrum. You might be filled with fear, and fear is using you instead of using that fear to grow your courage, so apply it how it fits in your life. We're not all going to be fearful, we're not all going to be angry, we're not all going to be frustrated or whatever it might be. So take it as it resonates with you. But there's a sense of the shift in perspective changes things in a positive way, and I feel that you're going to see that very, very clearly, very clearly. Feel that it makes you less grounded. And I'm seeing these two. I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure they symbolize something, but I'm not exactly sure what. But I kind of, for me, and now looking at them, she's holding snakes and she's got wings. So maybe the angel and the devil in us, if you want, for want of a better way of explaining it. But it's almost like you've been battling yourself. You feel that there's one side of you that should win because that's the good side, and there's another bit that should be squashed and eradicated and pushed down. This change in perspective is showing you that that's not at all the case. You need all of you. All of you. Imagine if you could never feel frustrated or never feel anger, never feel resentment, never feel jealousy or anger. There would be a lot of driving force that would disappear. There's a balance. When we are in balance with all aspects of ourselves, that's when we move forward in leaps and bounds and we make a difference. Because Scorpio, not all of us will have the jealous energy inside of us. Not all of us will have, we might get a little bit like, oh, they're lucky. But it's more a little bit of envious, where some people are really jealous. Some people might get angry over nothing. Anger just boils to the surface. They're explosive. But it counterbalances something else in them. And those, let's call them lower vibrational energies, they are there to fuel us. They are there to teach us how to act and not react. Because those lower vibrational energies, they cause us to react. When they take us over, we react. We say the wrong thing, we lash out. But when we use them, we're fueled, we're passionate, we're driven. Free time, awareness and awakenings. My process has purpose and is divinely guided. My progress has purpose and is divinely guided. Free time, awareness and awakenings. And I feel, Scorpio, that with this deep dive, with this darkness here, with going within, seeing aspects of yourself that you've maybe denied or have buried so deeply you've forgotten that they're there, I feel like you're going to be given time to actually process through that. And I feel that the awareness that comes from that awakens something in you. And I feel it's to be a service. It's like this magic person. Sorry, I was looking at this saying, oh, he looks like a leprechaun person. But this magic potion that he's holding, that's you. That's like if you bring together all aspects of yourself and say, this is me. Some things I need to be more aware of and a bit patient with. This is where you become the magic potion. Because you, the individual that is you in this collective, in this connected universe, is needed. There is not anything on this planet that is here for no reason at all. Nothing. And I mean, we can break it down. Like, you know, there could be a pebble on the floor out of billions, and that's the one that makes somebody trip over. And they might hurt themselves, and then they're the ones that invented Band-Aids. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything has a purpose. Everything has a reason that often we don't know why. It's not for us to know all the whys. We'd get so bogged down in it, we would never be able to actually move forward in life, you know. But so it's not for us to know that. It's not for us to know that, but to know that that is the case, to know that you are not here as a mistake or just for, oh well. You're here for a reason. It doesn't matter what that reason is. Everybody makes up the collective. Take one person out and that collective shifts. Does it still function? Yes. Is it different? Yes. So don't tell me that one person doesn't matter. The Six of Swords. This actually enables you, Scorpio, I feel, to move away. Some of you physically, but the majority of you, I feel like you're just done with the drama. You're done. Thank you, Spirit. I was going to say you're done with the things that don't serve you. And Spirit actually corrected me, or actually wanted me to say it a different way. It's not that you're done with them. I mean, you are done with them. But it's this change of perspective. Suddenly the things that triggered you, that brought up things from the depth of you, that needed to be looked at, they're not there anymore because you've looked at them. You can say to yourself, yeah, I'm an angry person. So I need to be mindful about how I react. I'm going to start meditating. I'm going to make sure that I exercise to get that additional energy out of me. It's who I am. I'm going to make sure that I'm in an empowered position so that I can use the energy and not allow that energy to use me. Thank you for my anger, because it enables me to fill in the blank, Scorpio, if that's something that, I don't know, anger's probably the easiest one to explain, so that's probably why Spirit's given me that one. But, you know, fill in the blanks. Fill in the emotion and then fill in the blanks. And this is a sense of being less triggered. You're just moving away from all that because all that just doesn't hold importance for you anymore. Not because you've pushed down and suppressed who you are, but because you've brought it up, you've looked at it. Looking at something doesn't mean you have to judge it and pick it apart and, cure it or whatever. It just means you have to look at it and go, that's an aspect of me. And in order for me to be whole, I have to embrace that aspect of me. If you take that aspect away or you want to hide it, ignore it, say that's not me, you are suppressing, alienating, rejecting an aspect of yourself. No, we want to be whole human beings. So we need to look at everything about ourselves and go, yeah, that's me. And it's amazing. It's amazing that whatever we need to look at, the universe will bring us things that bring that up. And then suddenly when we've looked at it and gone, yep, that's what I am. That's when we can start to move away from it. And it's not that we're moving away from whatever that emotion is, whatever that aspect of ourself is. Whatever that is for you, Scorpio, it's an aspect of yourself that you don't like, or that you think in some way is bad. And it's not that you move away from it, it's not that you leave it behind. But once you acknowledge it, it means you stop running for it. And you make this, all of you, all aspects of you are on this boat. And when you are whole, there's no longer holes in you to point at. And so the triggers lessen. This is beautiful, Scorpio. This is like a real awakening, but on a really, really deep level. I mean, awakenings always are. But this is coming from deep within you, and this is to make you whole. This is to no longer go, I don't like this about myself. I don't like that. You might still not like it, but you're not going to say that's something I've got to get rid of. You're just going to be like, that's me, but I'm going to learn to work with it. And the minute you're whole, the minute you're no longer fragmented, you come at things from a whole. So imagine a basketball team. Now, if they are fragmented and they're not working as a whole, they're not going to win many games. It's when the team comes together with their flaws, their handicaps, their gifts, that's when the team flourishes. Because they're working as a whole. So suddenly the lesser aspects, if for want of a better word, don't take over, because you've got the gifted aspects that balance that. So there's this balance. Everything's working together. And that's what I see in this Knight of Swords. This Knight of Swords is the clarity of you as a whole, and that enables you to just charge. That enables you to see clearly, to be focused, to be driven, and to move forward in a real aligned way. You know, you're cutting through the doubts and the indecision, because when we separate aspects of ourselves, then we have fragmented aspects of ourselves that clash. When we bring it all together and they're a whole, it's all together, so that they can't clash, because they're not separate where they can bang into each other at different intervals. They're whole. Therefore, when they move, they move as a whole. fragmented, well, as they move, they're likely to get in each other's way. As a whole, they move together. I like that. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for my two hands to be able to explain that. That's the energy I feel for you. And the Seven of Cups, decisions aren't so hard anymore. Because there'll still be indecision. So going back to the analogy of when you're whole, there'll still be indecisions. So you might rock backwards and forwards. But at least you're not clashing. You know, it's almost like a sway. And then eventually the pendulum slows down, and you find a medium. And I feel that that's how you find your choice. Like it just lands on a spot, and it's almost like a looking glass. And you can see exactly the right choice for you. Because I feel you're going to be given choices. I feel suddenly this clarity opens up options for you. Are they all the right match for you? Maybe not. This says my progress has purpose and is divinely guided. You'll be making your choice from that place, Scorpio. That place of knowing, I can see a direction now. I'm whole and I can see a direction, and I'll still sway, but I'm not going to get ricocheted off course. And then you finish with the Major Arcana and the Magician, no less. And this is Spirit co-creating with you, Scorpio. It's guiding you to your purpose, to your calling, to the next big journey of your life. Things that seemed impossible a month, 3 months, 6 months ago are suddenly going to be possible. And you're going to be like, oh, that actually wasn't that hard, but I just couldn't see it. If we can think it, if we can imagine it, it's said we can do it. But when we're out of alignment, we don't see all the options. We don't see all the ways. And May for you, Scorpio, is getting you back into alignment. It's getting you back whole. You're becoming whole again. Every aspect of yourself is going to be working together, and you're just going to flourish. You're going to prosper. You're going to be of service. And it's going to feel so good. It's going to feel so good. I'm going to leave you with those messages, Scorpio. Love, light, blessings, my friends. Have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.